Good afternoon and welcome to the Market Close Report for Tuesday, the 21st of April. Well, the Aussie market once again running on the spot today. In fact, we finished almost completely flat with the ASX 200 down by less than 4 points. That is a drop of 0.04% to 8,949. So fair to say that the market does remain a tad directionless at the moment. It actually has been the case now for close to a fortnight. In fact, the median daily move for our market has been around 0.25% over the past 2 weeks. So it's understandable because each time there are some signs of US-Iran progress, the temperature is once again quickly rising, and it just highlights there are a lot of conflicting messages between the US and Iran, and markets are just, I think, hungry for some degree of clarity, particularly because we've got the ASX 200 stuck just below 9,000 points. We're up about 5.5% this month, so it's been a very strong month so far, and we're also closing in on a record high. Now, on that front, the latest as far as the US-Iran situation is concerned is that President Trump said he's not likely to extend the 2-week ceasefire, which he said is set to expire Wednesday evening Washington time. So it seems to be a day longer than what was previously expected. Trump also saying that the Strait of Hormuz would stay blockaded for now until a deal is signed. And what is adding to a bit of optimism is signs that both the US and Iranian negotiators seem like they're going to actually be there for the negotiations. It seemed a little unsure about how that would progress. So we'll wait and see, but market's still very vulnerable to any headlines coming through in the days ahead. Now, as far as sectors go locally today, really it was a mixed bag. There were some larger movers, but none really very significant. The big loser was energy, which was down about 0.9% today. Oil prices remaining very volatile, down around 2% in local trade. We've also got stocks in the healthcare space down about 0.4%, and we've got the materials and others only down very modestly. There were some improvers, tech included, up about 0.4%. Consumer staples doing best, though, up in the order of 0.7%. And I should just mention the financials. Yes, they're only down by about 1/10, but this is the 7th straight decline for that financial sector. Just a heads up that in the early part of May, we're going to get the latest earnings results from many of the major banks. Now, as far as the winners are concerned today, one of the best was Yancoal. It rose around 3.8%, did snap a 5-day losing streak today. First opportunity for investors to react to some quarterly numbers which were out after market close yesterday. Essentially, production was largely in line with what the market was expecting. It did address the fact that it's paying more for diesel, but it is something that's been echoed by many other resource companies as well. And we've got to remember that coal miners, LNG producers, oil and gas companies were some of the best performers last month because of everything happening in Iran at the moment. So, we had Yancoal up something in the order of 40% last month. Rio Tinto up about 0.75%, certainly outperforming many of its peers on our market today. Seemed to please with its numbers, which were out today as well. Iron ore and copper production was up over the past quarter. Rio said that every $10 increase in the price of diesel US would only add roughly 15 cents US to its Pilbara unit cost, which seemed to be a bit less than expected. Also, what has been helpful is the price of commodities that it sells, like iron ore and copper, have generally been quite robust and moving higher, so that's helped to cushion the blow. Cleanaway Waste Management today up in the order of 2.6%. It did also say that fuel price rises due to the Middle East conflict are manageable at the moment, but we've got to remember that last week it did cut its profit expectations by about $20 million because of higher diesel prices. So it operates over 3,500 heavy vehicles, which is the reason for that. And Worley, the engineering firm, up about 2.8%. It is bouncing back despite receiving a bunch of price target cuts today. Now, Worley is an engineering firm that does a lot of work in the Middle East and Africa. In fact, makes 3 times as much in revenue there than it does here in Australia. So essentially, when there are delays and to certain projects, that's affecting the amount of money flowing in at the moment. There have been a number of losers today. Hub24, one of them, it was down in the order of 8.3%. The investment platform for advisors was down following its quarterly update. Even though net inflows have improved, it seemed to fall a little shy of what the market was expecting. We had Web Travel and also Flight Centre, both on the receiving end of some price target cuts today. Both were down. And West African Resources resumed trade after being in a trading halt since since last Friday. Essentially, the Burkina Faso government is increasing its stake in a key gold project there from 15% up to 40%. So maybe just raising concerns, getting people asking questions about government intervention. And Atlas Arteria, the toll road operator, has a lot of toll roads overseas and in Europe and also the United States. Well, today it said it hasn't seen a real material impact on traffic numbers so far across toll roads. I mean, logically, you'd think that higher fuel prices might keep people at home a little longer and maybe, or, working from home or taking public transport to work instead. But so far, so good as far as what the company has flagged. Now, moving forward from here, there will be a couple of things to watch tonight. Some key figures on retail spending with out of the United States and also on home sales. We've got a bunch of companies out with their earnings in the US as well, including GE, 3M and United Health Group. Tomorrow is going to be massive for quarterly updates here in Australia. So we're going to actually get results from BHP, Northern Star, Paladin, South32, Bank of Queensland is going to come out with an earnings report as well. So plenty to watch on that front. Finally, the currencies, the Aussie dollar's lost a little bit of ground against most, sitting at about 71.6 US cents, down against the euro and the yen as well. On that note, have a great evening, everyone. Make sure you tune in to James Gruber tomorrow morning with the morning report to get you set for the day ahead. Ciao.